Hi everyone, this is Nectaria again with Sophistication, and I'm here in my pajamas to do the intro for my next video because everybody's working in their pajamas these days, and they go on these videos and they put on something nice on the top, and then we all know on the bottom is some sort of pajama thing. And I thought, I'm doing my intro in a full-on pajama. Let's just get this started. So today's soap, I hope, will make people think of the summer. I know right now, the weather up here, I'm in just outside of Toronto, Canada, and the weather is just switching back and forth. Sometimes it's kind of a nice day, and then the next day it's like flurries out. And I'm kind of getting sick of that. I want summer. So I'm showing you a soap that I hope makes you think of summer. So I was looking to do a Flamingo soap, and I went onto Pinterest and was looking at various pictures and things for inspiration. So what I ended up deciding to do was a flamingo standing in sand with water in the background, and then kind of palm tree leaves kind of hanging over from the kind of corner of the soap. So normally in my intro, I kind of show you what the end product of my soap is before I even get started. But this time I'm having you wait till the end. Now, this soap used multiple techniques, some of which I've become familiar with and some of which were brand new to me. So I started off with a cold process embed, and then I did some soap dough, which was new to me. I did an ombre design within the soap. And then when the soap came out, it wasn't exactly what I wanted from a design perspective. And so I kind of carved out some of the soap and replaced it with some soap dough, which was also something I had never done before. So I know this is all sounding really hypothetical to you, and you just want to get to the soap. So before I get to the actual video, I just want to apologize in advance for any audio issues. I'm having a problem with my video editing app. I'm looking for a new one so you guys don't have to deal with this, but I'm sorry if the audio balances are off. Okay, come on in. I'll show you how I made my soap.
The first step I have is to prepare the Flamingo embeds. So I'm just mixing up my batter in a smaller container than I normally use. My plan was to pour the kind of an orange colored foot, and then these pink bodies, and then like a black beak. I tried putting some paper in to kind of separate the colors so they could really be distinct, but it just didn't work, so I took them out. I tried to get the black down in the beak center, but that didn't end up working. So then I just switched to only using the yellow for the feet and the pink for the body. Then I switched to soap dough to prepare the palm tree embeds that I wanted. This was my first experience using soap dough, so I was just trying to figure out the best way to get to what I needed. So you can see on this little paper over here that I've drawn the leaf pattern that I want, and I'm just going to continually check against that pattern to try to get this column into that shape that I want. Now I have a bit of distilled water sitting there so that I can kind of wet the dough to try and get the pieces to stick together. And as I finish, I just check it against the mold to make sure it'll fit, and I wanted it up against the side of the mold, so I wanted to make sure that would work. And now we come back to our flamingos. So the shape of the mold means I can't create a column out of these flamingos. So I actually had to cut off a part of the flamingo to really make it flat so that I could make a column out of that. So I actually used parts of that because I had some air holes from using the squeeze bottle. And so I used parts of the flamingo that I took off to fill in those holes. And then again, I have some distilled water. I wet each side, put them together, and create a column. Then, because I couldn't get that black in there for the beaks, I added some black soap dough to the sides of those kind of columns to try to make the beak. Phew! Now that I've gotten all my embeds done, I can finally make the main soap. First, I make sort of this sand that I want the flamingo to be sitting in. And I wanted to do this first and get it kind of thick so that the flamingo wouldn't sink down into the sand, into the bottom of the soap. I wanted the water to look like it was kind of in the background, and so I just didn't want the blue to cut through under the sand, so I used that spatula to kind of break my fall. And then to create kind of waves in the background, I used a pipette to get some kind of white breaking waves in that water. And then it's time to prepare my sky, which I was planning to be with an ombre effect. So I just add a little bit of white to that blue batter and continue to pour so that the sky gradually becomes lighter. Now the moment of truth. Let's see how those leaves do in this soap. So when I cut it, it wasn't what I wanted. I felt like the legs blended in with the sand, and you can see here that the leaves kind of look like they're floating into from nothing. So for my first attempt at fixing it, I took some of the legs out and replaced it with brown soap dough. I added some black eyeballs, and then I kind of added in this little bit of a tree branch holder, or I'm not sure what you would even call it, to kind of look like maybe the palm tree was kind of angling over. So I felt this was better, but still not where I wanted it to be. So I ended up taking that soap dough and actually doing a whole side of a tree trunk for this.
And here you have it. These are the final soaps. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button below. Thank you.